Hi guys, it's Joshua here again from Sibego Platinum Cars, and today we're having a review at the 2008 Fiat Panda 100 HP. This is going to be an in-depth review. We'll look at the performance data, we'll have a startup of the vehicle, and we'll have a test drive. So let's go ahead and start the review. Now, first thing you'll notice that the key looks like an ordinary key like you get in your VW, and it's got 3 buttons as well. It's got the unlock, the lock, and you press and hold to open the boot or to unlock the boot. So one of the first things that this one, when you unlock the vehicle, it unlocks all of the doors at the same time. So you really don't have that option on a VW to unlock each door, or to unlock the driver door first and then all of the 4 doors. So you'll see that it's a very nice little car. This one, the badges though have fallen off or nicked, whichever one of the two. It's got the fog lights at the bottom, and it's got the 15-inch mags with the red calibers on them. Because this is the 100 HP, the sport version. It's a 1.4 sport, and it has really got a lot of sporty character. It really has a lot of sporty character for a car of this size. So it's got all-round brake discs, ABS brakes. Obviously, it's got a chrome-plated tailpipe. It's got 1 reverse light and 1 fog lamp. It has been lowered by 25 millimeters from the normal Fiat Panda that you would see. So it's got the gray color with the black at the bottom there, just to make it a bit sportier, and you can really see that it really stands out from a normal Fiat Panda that you have. So let's go and see inside how it is. Inside the car is quite neat, and it's basically different from all the other cars. I guess it's a unique car that you have, that you see over here. One of the nice things about it is that you've got your vents here that you can close and open as you wish. You've got your hazards over here. You've got your sport button. Now that sharpens up the throttle response, and then it also makes the steering a bit firmer, a bit stiffer steering as well. You've got your fog lamps, front and rear, and then you've got your rear window defroster there, and you've got your radio, which is MP3. It supports your MP3 format, and you've got a 6-speed manual gearbox, and then your electric windows are basically adjusted over there. That's your cigarette or your power outlet. This is where you adjust all your windows left and right. So one of the things that you'll notice is that the things that you would find in a normal car to be in a normal place, here they're a bit different. Let me make an example. Aircon. Your aircon over here is basically, you have to push your button in for the aircon, then you'll see the orange light, and then but I'll show you that also as we go along. And your electric windows is another thing. The electric windows on this car are on a different place. Like you've got, this is the left one and this is the right one. The back ones are also manual, like the Polo trend line with 2 front automatic. The front window is basically fully automatic. The front right driver window is fully automatic, and then the passenger side is it's not the fully automatic window. So steering over here, you've got your source button, you've got your skip tracks, got your volume controls over here, you've got your mute. Your mute, whenever you're playing a CD and you press the mute button, what it will do, it will pause the CD. I was amazed by the simple things that this car has, yet that things that you'll find on your normal or in your premium vehicles. One of the things that you'll find on this car is that you'll see that there is the when on BMWs, for example, and other cars, when you accelerate, the volume goes higher, and when you deaccelerate, your volume level drops whenever you're playing music. So that's the same thing that this car does. And as you accelerate, it increases the volume, and as you deaccelerate, it lowers the volume. The seats, they're kind of sporty feel seats, very firm seats, not too bad in terms of comfortability. However, the only thing that stands out with the car, though, is the suspension, but we'll talk about that when we're driving about it. You've got your airbags over here in the front, and let's go and start it up. You'll notice that on the vehicle, there are no lock buttons or anything like that. What this one does is that there are no lock pins. What this one does is that this handle is actually serves both as a lock pin and as a handle to open. So when you push it in like that, you'll see the red here. It's locked. It's got central locking. So that's how it does. When the vehicle drives for more than 30 kilometers, it then locks the car automatically. So there we have it over here. It's got a top speed of 240, so they say, but it's been electronically limited. But I feel, after driving this car, I've been driving it for a while now. Basically, it's really got the power to push it through, but you'll feel where the limiter has been set in to limit the car. So the electronic or the dashboard basically lights up in orange. It's going to be hard to see now because it's during the day, but the dashboard lights up in orange, and so do all the other lights. Basically the same lighting as the radio. You've only got one light in this car, and that's the one over here. That's the one over here to unlock it. I'm not sure how this one. Okay, yeah. So you've got, this is how your lighting works over here, and then you've got your mirrors over here, with your passenger mirror as well. So it's a very, very neat looking car. This is the lighting so this is the light that you have over here. It's got then your handles over here on the passengers, except the drivers, of course. And then let's turn on the lights and see how it is. There we go. I'm turning on the aircon now. Then switch on the hazards. Let me show you the aircon. This is how it works. Right now, okay, you can adjust for cool and hot over here. You can adjust where you want to point it to. Then your aircon, basically you press this button. Now the aircon is on. You can even feel the change in the ignition, that the aircon is on now. And then when you switch off the aircon, this is what you do. So it took me a while to get used to it, but I guess this car is unique really in its own way. One of the things about the radio is very, very nice radio. So it's got a very nice radio. But one of the things that I didn't like about it was it's got an option for an aux. It does say that it's got aux over here. I'm gonna see over here. You've got change your source. It does say it's got aux, like you see here, but basically there is no auxiliary input that I saw over here. So I was excited to see an aux, but then when I checked in the car, looked everywhere and I couldn't find it. And you've got your CD over here. It supports MP3 as normal, so you can see. It's got speakers over here, and that's right over there where you open on the red hook over there. That's where you open the bonnet. The seats are very, very nice, because the driver's seat basically can be adjusted over here for height, and then over here you can adjust it for obviously front and back. And then you've got this to drop the seats. This is what you also do. You control it over here as well. So it's a very, very nice car. It's a very decent car. So let's see the lights and then put on all the fogs, and let's see. Take a tour outside and drop the window. Fully automatic. So you've got the fog lights here. The lighting on this car is actually quite decent for a car of its size. I like the fact that you can also adjust, like most cars, you can adjust the range of the lights just with a touch of a button. Now let's take a look at the boot. The boot is not that big like you would see in your Polo hatch, but it's quite really a decent size, especially with the seats dropped bottom. Underneath you've got your spare wheel and your jack. Very important. Look at this side. See? So this is the back. Your seats can also come down just like that. You can drop your seats and you can load on whatever you want to load on. So that's the nice thing about the seats. You'll notice on this car, it came out from the factory like this. It's basically set to have privacy glass at the back, so that's why the glass at the back of this car it looks tinted, but it's actually privacy glass. So if you wanna install something like a smash and grab on this car, they would then put the clear one on the back and then put the tinted one in front, because it's already tinted at the back. So let's see, my seat over here, it's pushed way back, and now this is assuming that the person sitting there is way tall, but otherwise it's quite decent sized space car. You still have enough room to play around. Ideally, this car, I feel like it's basically it's more comfortable if two people are sitting at the back. For 3 people, you can fit them in there, but it's not gonna be as comfortable, because this is sort of like made to be. It's got a character of a sports car basically, and some of the little features that you see here, like the brake calipers, the sport button, on such a small car like this, which really makes a difference in the car. So this is the passenger side. So this is the passenger side, as we can see here. Switch off the radio. One of the things that I'd like to show you is the menu that you've got. Just by pressing on the side here, there's a button here, and when you press it, it can show you the range of the vehicle, of the fuel. Okay, it will show you that when you're driving, and then it will show you, can show you the trip distance, which is you can set. I mean, on your own. It shows you the average consumption, instant consumption as well. You'll need to be in motion to calculate that as well. It shows you the average speed, your travel time. You can see how long a trip took you in the vehicle, how long you've spent in the vehicle, and then it shows you the date as well. So when you're playing something like your radio, it will show up right there where it's got the date. It will show up there, and you'll be able to see what track is playing, and you can skip your tracks without looking at the radio. So now let's pop the hood and see what we've got in front here. Now this is a 1.4 liter 16 valve engine, which produces 100 horsepower. Well, in our calculations it's 74 kilowatts, and it's got 131 newton meters of torque at 4,000 revs. So it really doesn't sound like much, but when you've got a car as light as this one is, as small and agile as this one is, it really makes a difference, and you really enjoy the car, and you can really feel the kilowatts in it. So let's feel how she sounds. Okay guys, we are test driving the Fiat Panda, and we're just having a feel of what the car is like. Nice thing about the steering that you can adjust as well, basically up and down, not for reach though. So the impressions of this car is that it's a very, very firm suspension car. I mean, after all, it was made to be a sport car, if I can put it like that. It's got sport characters, so it's good. The steering is very light, very, very light. That's one of the experiences that I've felt about it. But however, when you press on the sport button, it becomes a bit firmer, but this is the firmness now that we were looking for all along. So that's it's a nice feature. I mean, really, I prefer it, honestly. I prefer it with the sport button on. The steering's got a nice feel. I usually put it on, you put it on when you're driving, let's say on the highway or on the freeway, because you don't want it to be too soft, you know, when you're driving around, especially when you're going quite quick, or speeding, if I can say so. Now this car has got very brilliant sports character. I mean, it revs quite easily. You can feel I'm on third gear now. It revs quite easily. You know, you can feel how this car feels like. You know, it revs quite easily. But at the same time, this is not a car that you can use to pick up your grandmother, especially in our roads in South Africa. that you can use to pick up your grandmother with it, or pick up somebody from the hospital and say, no, let me take you, especially when you're going to be going on rough roads, because it is quite firm, and I'm not exaggerating this. The suspension is quite hard, but it's a sport suspension. However, for that hardness of the suspension though, what you get, that it's quite stable, if I can put it like that. Yeah, it's quite stable. But enough about that. Let's look at the good parts about it. When you step on the accelerator, you can feel that the car has really got some performance to it, and then you can see that it really performs. I mean, from takeoff, you can see that this car is just something else. It's just something else, and it makes you enjoy driving it. The short shifter on this car, the short gear, it's very, very nice. It makes it feel really like a true sports car, because it's easy to just slide into gears, and you've got 3 gears, we've got 6 gears basically, and you can just drive as quick as you want to. However, though as quick as it is, it's not a car that you can really take out on a long trip now. You can decide you want to go to Durban or Cape Town. You can. I mean, I don't dispute that, but it's not really going to be that much of a comfortable ride. I think without the tinted windows, the car basically it brings in a lot of sun into the car, but otherwise the performance will just make you forget all about that. Let's hear how it sounds. And when you step on the brakes, you can really feel that this car is something else. So 5 things I like about the car. I like the performance. 1. 2, I like the way it looks. It looks quite sporty. I like the way it handles. That's number 3 rather. I like number 4. We definitely like the sports button. And then number 5, I would say I like the fact that, I mean, it's not really an ordinary car. It really stands out, and anybody that has seen this car will tell you that this car is just one of a kind. But the other 5 things I don't like about this car, I don't like the suspension is too hard, really, because you won't be sporty every time. I mean, this car has been driven by a lady, and the hardness of it really, it's just, I mean, unnecessary on a daily basis. But anyways, a sport car, so I don't like that. Number 2, I don't like the fact that they put in an aux on the radio, that it's got aux. The radio says it's got aux, but there is no actually aux port that you find here. And then number 3, we don't like the alarm. One of the things that you don't notice, that when you set the alarm on about this car, when you set the alarm on this car, and you open the doors, the alarm doesn't go off. It just basically just locks and unlocks. That's it. Then I'm on number 4, I guess. Number 4, I say the seats get dirtied quite easily. So it's not a nice thing. And then number 5, I'm gonna say again that it brings in a lot of sun in this car, and at the back you can only seat 2 adults in there, than four people. So that's one of the challenging things about it. But otherwise, guys, it's a very nice car. Thank you very much for watching my review of the Fiat Panda. Don't forget to subscribe and like my videos for more videos, and I'll see you on the next video, and then we'll see how things go.